That's all we have time for today. Really? I can't believe it's done.
I know, just like that. Oh my
God, time flies when we're having fun. Sunrisers, all over the world. Let me say a good morning to all of the sunrisers who I met while traveling on the weekend. Yes, I know you're watching.
Nice.
So many of you, I have a long list. I'm going to be calling those names. Watch on Friday. I'll call those names on Friday.
All right, so if you missed out on anything or you just want to, re-watch your favorite segments, we got you covered. All you got to do is head on over to CVMTV.com. And for all the fun stuff in between, we're on Instagram at Sunrise CVM and at CVM_television.
And listen, if you haven't had breakfast as yet, it's a good time to check out Mothers. Run over to Mothers and they have everything that you want to eat in the morning, healthy breakfast to kickstart your day. Mothers. And listen, tune in later on this evening to Lead Story with George Davis. He comes in at 6:30, a brand new episode of Meet the Mitchells. It's also on at 8 p.m. So don't miss it tonight. Just stick and stay to CVM all day.
You know what else is tonight?
What else is tonight?
Oh, you know, so me and IT ready. We're ready. Tonight, CVM will be broadcasting live from Usain Bolt Tracks and Records. At what time, IT?
At 8 p.m.
Where are we going to broadcast from?
From Usain Bolt Tracks and Records on CVMTV and CVM Plus.
It's a very special event. There will be the official announcement of the Jamaica Reggae Boys team participating in this major competition.
Copa America!
That's right. Also additionally, guess what else is happening? In association with the Jamaica Football Federation, the event will showcase the new Reggae Boys uniform, and a special top performance is also going to happen, so you don't want to miss that.
You don't want to miss it. Listen, before we get to Roundtable, let me just tell you, God without man is still God. But man without God, zero, zilch, not, nothing, vapor, wind. So, Roundtable takes over.
After we get another performance from the very talented Jody and Pantry. Take it away.
I am the brave, never afraid. You don't know what I've been through, but I felt it all before. I don't know, but I've made it. Never looking back again. 'Cause I'm a lion, and I am so strong. No, I'm free. Lord, you are bigger. You fight my wars. No, I'm free. Hey, all the while you took all my pain away. Now I can face the world again. After all the good in this life, I'm not gonna cry no more for all the wrongs they've done me, Jamaica. 'Cause I'm a lion, and I am so strong. No, I'm free. Lord, you are bigger. You fight my wars. No, I'm free. I will trust you, Lord. You are my secret place. I will call upon your name. I will give you praise, 'cause I'm a lion, and I am so strong. No, I'm free.
Welcome to the Wednesday edition of the Roundtable. I'm Nathan, and joining me is my always beautiful co-host, Celine.
Good morning.
And our very, very special guest today is father of 4 super dad, we can say, Claver Dixon. Welcome, Mr. Dixon. I have to say Mr. Dixon. You can't have an elder statesman on the table and then I call him Claver just like that.
Of course.
That's cool.
Okay, it's Wednesday, guys. How's your week been so far?
Good.
Good?
Yeah.
Productive?
Productive. I'm feeling tired already, though. Ready for the weekend. And it's only Wednesday.
And it's only Wednesday. So, Dix, how are you feeling, Clever?
Today's been good so far. The week overall started out a little rough, but today's
pulling through.
So far I'm good today.
I like that.
Good.
I like that. But you know how we always do it here on the Roundtable? We always like to start off and see what's happening on social media. So let's check out what's buzzing in our social buzz. Well, Celine, I won't ask you first. Clever,
Yes, sir.
have you ever happened upon a scenario like that?
Oh, definitely.
All of that hard work, you feel like you just did the most spectacular.
Oh, please.
And
Yeah, man.
the one thing that you didn't do, out of the 25.
Yeah, man.
You know, Father's Day coming up, so I'm not going. I just going relax and not.
You just going to own this.
Oh,
You're going to
yeah,
own this
man,
up.
I'm not.
You know what? Thank you for that. And it's not just wives, mothers too. I won't say much more than that. But you know, let's jump out of that social buzz and let's see what's happening in the bag of things.
Is that time again, Nathan? You know this well. It's that time again.
It's puppy time again. Wow. We've got a year already?
Yes, and so as a part of the Jamaica Defence Forces fundraising efforts, the Jamaica National Legion, in association with the Jamaica Defence Force, is putting on a 5K run, puppy run walk, at the Harmony Beach Park, Montego Bay, St. James, on Sunday, the 23rd of June, 2024, starting at 6 a.m.
0600 hours.
0600 hours.
0600.
Yes.
And
so get up. Get up and come out and run.
I want to say this. I would implore everybody, please support the puppy appeal. It goes towards an absolutely worthy cause. There are men and women who have sacrificed, who've given just about everything for the defense of the rights that you enjoy right now, and to be able to give back to them in their later days in life, to at least give them some comfort.
Yes.
It's an amazing thing you can give back to. And the truth is, it's not just about the World War veterans, but you do have veterans who will be coming through the Jamaica Defence Force now who will benefit from this puppy appeal. So please, 100%, I want you all to go out.
Go out and make it happen, yes.
Right,
it's a good cause.
Right, but, you know, thanks, you started us off right this morning. And I think I smell and see something hot coming. Thank you, Abby. And I know with a super dad on the table, I'm suspecting it has to be something father-related. So, it says, no hoorays for him. Downplaying the role of dads.
Aye.
Yeah. It's a rough one. I will start with you, Clever.
Yes, sir.
How do you feel about your role as a dad, especially considering your situation? Do you think that your role is downplayed, the things that you do for your family?
Definitely. I would say so. I find that, but even now, Father's Day coming up, versus Mother's Day, I mean, rightly so, you get a lot of ads, a lot of arguments, a lot of promotions from mom, rightly so. And then when it comes to Father's Day, it's more low-key, generally speaking.
Just come and gone.
It is like, you know, is it really happening?
Oh, no.
You wonder if it's really happening sometimes, but it is important. It is important because
to celebrate for sure.
To celebrate for sure, and perhaps that might encourage some of the deadbeat dads to step out of that zone of being a deadbeat dad.
Let me ask you, and I say to you as well, Celine, there's a lot of stereotypes around fatherhood, and I think a lot of them are misguided and misunderstood. I think in many ways, as I said, no hoorays for dad. There's a lot of roles that fathers play that sometimes they even call deadbeat, when really and truly all they're doing is providing. What do you think about some of those stereotypes that you always say, I'm ascribed to fathers in that kind of way?
Well, I definitely think that there, unfortunately, in Jamaica, there seems to be a highlight of what our fathers are not doing, because you see the moms out there with the kids, you know, single, doing it singly. And you wonder, who is the father, or where's the father, and why isn't he involved? So, you know, to your question, or even to the question of the morning, I really think it is important to celebrate men and celebrate, even though, because there are even fathers who have taken on the role of fathers that did not born the child, or did not really, you know, isn't the biological father of the child. You know, and we don't talk about those. So I don't know, the stereotypes, I can see it very largely in our society, in our Jamaican society, but I think, like you said, there's some misguidance there. Yeah, for sure.
And you know what I would say? I think one of the debates that we've had at this table, several of us over the weeks, is this whole idea of the change in family, and how, you know, women aren't looking to have kids anymore, and the different type of womanhood that now exists. You actually are finding that there's a lot more spaces where, like what Clever is going through, where it's a single father home. It's a lot more prevalent even today, because a lot of fathers are taking on that new role. He's not the
Hold on, did I miss Mr. Dixon's story?
My wife passed in December, so...
Okay.
So he's a single father of four.
And so you become a single dad.
Yes.
Right? And you're taking on roles every day that a few years ago it would have been thought is mommy role.
I had to learn to cook.
What kind of... So you have boys and girls? Boys only, girls only?
Boys and a girl. It's Eugene. It was Eugene, Alex Ray, Tyrese, Michael Paul. Ashley is the rose between all of those.
Okay. So you've now become that kind of super role for all the kids.
Well, thankfully, my last child is Michael Paul, and 20. Yeah, we're never good with the ages, but yeah. Thankfully, they're what you might say call of age. So there's less of a burden on you being a dad, but you still have to still be there when they need you, and you still have to offer words of advice, direction, and importantly, you must always pray for them.
So you're a man of faith as well.
Always have to pray for them.
So you found that has been your backbone,
that has been the thing that has kept me growing up without a dad, faith. I didn't grow up in the church, although there was a church literally across the road from my house. But Mama always ensured that I went to Sunday school, and as did most of the parents back then. They ensured that the children, even though they weren't going,
they made sure the kids grew up in Sunday school. And I think that had a lot to do with why perhaps children back then were less prone to violence, because you hear about, but back then it was mostly the fire and brimstone thing. And it engendered that kind of fear and respect for life. And so you're not so willing to do certain things. Process now. I want to talk about that role of faith. And I also spoke about growing up with a single mother.
Yes.
I want to talk about that when we come back after the break. More Roundtable after the break, guys. Welcome back to the Roundtable. This morning the topic is Know Who Raised for Him, downplaying the roles of dads. And Clever was talking about, when he was growing up, the whole idea of community and church. But he, in the midst of that, spoke about having a single mom. And there's a thing that we always have in Jamaica where we celebrate Mom for Father's Day and Mother's Day. Do we think that that is part of how we've helped to diminish the role of father? Because you're not going to celebrate a single father on Mother's Day and Father's Day. So,
that's a hard question.
No, but I want to understand, because as a woman, it is something that you will recognize. When somebody sees you out and they're like, why, moms, you do it by your own, proud of you.
Right, yeah.
Right? But for a father,
you don't hear that.
You don't hear that. No, so do you think that diminishes the role of the fathers?
I don't know if it diminishes the roles of the father. I just think it is a blunder. I just think it is an unrecognized situation where we're not seeing our fathers like Mr. Dixon here, who is doing it for his 4 children. And I mean, and I still want to learn about how you had to learn how to cook.
4 lad.
Oh, see there, wow.
And so you've even lost one. I mean, right? So you're really doing it. You're really showing up, and you're there. You're showing up every day for them.
But then that talks about the redefined role of a father. So what are some of the things that for you now as a single father, even though it's older children, what are some of the things that you've seen as a shift in how you've had to deal with your kids?
Having to learn to prepare meals was quite a trip for me. Before I could always prepare anything out of a can. That was easy. But I always had a challenge with seasoning the meat, getting that right. But then when my wife was not able to go around fire as directed by the doctor, then I had to learn that part of it. Yeah. And it took time, it took trial and error. and in the end, I got there, thankfully, so to the point where the kids enjoyed the meal.
Oh, look at that.
And others were able to say, it tastes good, you know. I have a neighbor, Auntie Glenda, would tell you, yeah, Uncle Ray can cook. So it was part of the journey, which I appreciate, because now I can take that into wherever I go next. But still have to pray for the kids. I have to, because I realize that it works. Putting them under the blood of Jesus works. People might not believe or accept that, might call it what they will, but I can only speak from my experience.
Yes.
And I can tell you that it works. It works.
You know, for me, that's also one of those new roles that you don't think of with fathers, because generally it's the mother who was sending you to church. But I think what we're finding a lot of for the redefinition of fathers, and I mean, it's a part of the challenge, because for many fathers, I having a daughter, they're going to tell you, boy, girl, daddy, have it rough. You have to learn to comb here. You have to be doing the daddy daycare kind of stuff. You put on makeup. And for me, I don't find it to be a challenge. What I find as a challenge is how people perceive us. All right? And that adds a layer that I don't want to always have to try and explain to my daughter.
But you know what, Nathan, it just came to me that, you know, you keep asking about, you know, do I think it's unfair and from a woman's perspective? But I really think the onus is on men to educate other men. Because sometimes that's where it all starts from too, A man telling you have to be, you know, what is that? You know, what kind of... You have to educate other men and inspire each other to tell a different story.
Well, I agree. I mean, one of the things that I will go back and say to you is that even coming from a time where my parents' parents, it was always the mother. Even if there was a mother and a father present, the father oftentimes had to go external, outside of the home, outside of the parish, outside of the country to be able to provide. So for me, like, even within my own household growing up, my father was a pastor. So though he was present, there are many times that he wasn't physically there because he had to be fathering a church as well. And my mother had to kind of step into that role, which is why sometimes I don't feel anyway when they say Happy Father's Day to my mother, because there are many times that my father was still being a father, but my mother had to be the one who was doing the disciplining because she's physically there, right? And the redefining of these roles are as men start to sit down in the homes more, because women and men are not earning the same amount. They're not being dual breadwinners.
Working from home.
Working from home. You're not finding that the man has to take on the same kind of role that the woman was taking on. The woman is taking on the role that the man was taking on even more. So for me, it's a challenge that's faced by both in a relationship. And what we really should be talking about is not necessarily the role of father. Of course, you want to bless up and love up and bring it out. You have to celebrate fatherhood, but it's parentage. I think that we have to look at 2024 and beyond. What will the parent look like? What will the new age parent look like? Because parents are no longer just about disciplining and sending you to church and you know, teaching you when you come home with the homework. We now have the tablets, and we're now expected to be a part of your full-on learning schedule. We are now a part of this whole new age of how we're raising you. The community is no longer the uncle down the road. I'm your community in some instances, and I'm facilitating the community digitally. So the role of the father it's changing like the mother's role, but the problem was the father wasn't always there physically. So now that he's becoming more and more present, you're finding that people are having this issue like, I'm a soft soup. Why am I the park with his daughter? Why am I do this with him? Why am I do this with his son? He should be out there playing football with him, right? So for me, one of the things I will always go back to is that it's not necessarily that there's a change in role for dads. I think dads have always been present. Even in a lot of single homes, dads have been providers, just not physically there. Their role was to provide the finances.
Can I ask Mr. Dixon, what was the struggle between now you having to be provider and mother, nurturer?
Well, thankfully, I haven't had to be mother for too long, just since my wife only passed December last year. But,
okay.
You know, and because prior to that, I didn't show that my wife didn't really work, so we made that decision, we made that decision.
Okay.
Because, as I said, I wanted her to be there when I'm out, that she's there to ensure that, you know, they're taken care of, they're attended to. And so that I could feel free when I'm out, knowing that they're good at home, mom is there.
Yeah.
But now, I'm the only one there actually, because now everybody's out. But I still
You're
know.
an empty nester on top of it.
Yeah. Widower, empty nester, single after 32 years. It's
a redefinition of your life.
It's confusing. I can tell you that. You don't know how to proceed in some situations.
But then let me balance it and ask a question. But for you, Celine, you had the luxury of growing up with, as I did, with the father who's present.
Parents.
And then you also know, you know, what they'll call the ideal family situation. You have your husband who's there present in your children's lives. How do you think that has impacted on you and will impact on your kids?
No, it was a major impact, which is why I know the role of a father in marriages, relationships to your children is important.
Yes.
Mm-hmm. Representation of the man in the house, the father figure, is very, very important. I think it made me a stronger, more confident girl.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
I think it provided guidance for me that I could not have gotten from any other man but my father. And it's really unfortunate when you don't have that. My father, interestingly, though, Nathan, worked with the United Nations, and so he was away for a lot of the time. So I remember one time I didn't see him for a whole year, I believe.
Oh, wow.
Yeah.
But his presence was felt.
But his presence was felt. I spoke to him every day, and it wasn't in the days when you had, you know,
the cell phone,
and the video chat and all of that. It really wasn't that. But I did not miss his presence. He was just such a very, very present father, and so I just the kind of respect and love that I have for him and how he did that.
Well, you know, I love that. So we hit the home stretch right after this, and I want you guys to be present and come back right after the break. Thanks for staying with us, guys. You know what time it is? It's time for final thoughts. So, Mr. Dixon, we've been talking about the No Who Race for Fathers, and as a father who's doing it on your own right now, you know, what would be your final thought to leave with those who are watching on social media and
I'd love to inspire, or try to inspire those men who are fathers of children but who really aren't occupying the role in terms of being there to the best of their ability, in terms of trying to guide their child, trying to just provide and support and help. And for those who you might not be living with the parent, please understand that it's critical that you make yourself a part of that child's life, because your impact will make a vast difference in the outcomes for them going forward. So I'd like to encourage, to challenge the man out there who isn't currently occupying that role, being that father that he ought to be, that provider, that support. Step up. It is vital. And I know you wish your child well, but if you are not there, then the outcomes can be bad, versus when you're there, the outcome in most cases is a better outcome for your child.
Celine?
Well, we started with saying that we don't make a big enough deal of Father's Day versus Mother's Day. And I just want to say we should do a little better with that. I do see businesses doing it. You know, you have the spas that have the Father's Day packages now and all the different packages that I see out there. But let's do a better job at really celebrating our fathers.
I think for me, I'll keep it simple. Sometimes I feel like I don't need the hooray. I don't need the celebration. But the truth is, for all the fathers out there, just be proud of what you're doing, especially if you're a present father who's doing all he can. Once you're doing your best, that's a lot. And for every father who finds it difficult coming up to this Father's Day, you may have lost your own father. Just be rest assured in the fact that once you wake up each day with the belief that you're trying to do better, be better for your spouse, be better for the world, be better for your child or your children, that's a lot. That's a lot more than a lot of people have gotten. So let's be real about what we're doing. Let's work towards always being better individuals, but being better fathers, and being better fathers in all situations. But that is a wrap for the Roundtable today. I want to do a special thanks to our super guest, super father, Clever Dixon. And remember, guys, be good and always be on purpose. Guys, happy Father's Day when it comes. And, you know, I guess happy Father's Day to the mothers out there who are doing the role, because we always do it. Right?
Father's Day, Daddy.
All right, thank you, guys. See you.
When you a plan, you think about my future too. Enough now of you, them talk about the good things, them would I do. But you see when the child born, him never take his bicycle ride gone. For me no see him again. Him know about school and all me teacher them. I say my respect goes out to the real father them. You see everything I did for me. One heap of thanks me give daddy. My respect goes out to the real father them. I see everything I did for me. One heap of thanks me give daddy. And every Christmas and every birthday, still I get a gift when it's the worst day. I remember seeing pictures of my first cake. They call me winner even when I'm not the first place. You teach me for count and easy for doubt. You believe in me, you really support. You tell me sky is the limit. You tell me reach for the clouds. I say my respect goes out to the real father them. You see everything I did for me. One heap of thanks me give daddy. My respect goes out to the real father them. You see everything I did for me. One heap of thanks me give daddy. How the daughter for born, father quit. Years that she sick.